What's approaching the supreme moment? Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
It was good. So we did go a little bit further, and this video is going to include stages 150 where we're starting off and then moving on to stage 190 and 200. But up until stage 150, pretty much it was the same format. The battle itself wasn't that much different than it was at stage 100. Broly's, definitely attacking more, but for the most part, it's definitely manageable at this point. Not really a whole lot of changes with the team setup. I did have several runs with the Super Saiyan God Vegeta unit that you can get from the Gogeta Blue banner, just because he's able to effectively guard against all types at a high chance, and attack and defense increase of 100%. The stun factor doesn't really matter in this Extreme Z battle because he's immune to it, but he was able to defend very well. Just the problem is the stage restrictions won't allow him to hit for much within the Z battle event. So even though he's able to defend well, I ended up putting back in the Super Saiyan 3 Goku because at the end of the day, he's still able to hit for like 1.3, 1.4 million, over 2 million plus with the critical. So from a cost benefit standpoint, it was definitely more worthwhile to include that unit instead. In terms of the highlights, I would say the Tech Super Saiyan God Goku is obviously the MVP of this because he's able to minimize damage to a ridiculous amount. You're talking about super attacks that can range of damage being taken by anywhere from like 100,000 to over 230,000. The Goku will end up taking like double digits amounts, from a super attack. So that is going to save a lot of HP, plus, the normal attacks, very, very little in damage taken. The Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta unit, the free-to-play version, is also a very good unit for this. You're talking about very minimal damage taken after the super attack activates because of, the defensive increase and all that. So it's definitely a good unit for that. And if the additional super attack kicks in, you're talking about a very little amount of damage taken from Broly itself. So other than that, Tapion is definitely a good one. You're looking at attack and defense increase of 80% from that. And then the Angel Goku, he does take a decent amount of hits, but he's got type advantage and he hits for a pretty good amount. So it's definitely worthwhile to include. But overall, this isn't too bad at 150 as long as you bring in type advantage units within the movie heroes category. It definitely does get difficult later on, and you'll see that in the video, and I'll kind of go through it and explain it. But at this point, it was definitely still manageable. It wasn't bad at all. And again, you certainly have the option, including the Super Saiyan God Vegeta, if you're lacking some of the units here. So that was stage or level 150, and then after this, I think we move on to stage 190, and then this is when things get a little bit more difficult because Broly does tend to hit for a lot more. Just to recap, my Gogeta Blue is at 79%, full focus on additionals. This Vegeta is obviously at 100%, 9 additional attack and level 17 crits. Super Saiyan God Goku is 1 dupe, level 14 criticals, so whenever it kicks in, it kicks in. This one is level 14 additional attack and level 12 criticals. Angel Goku is also 100%, level 12 additional attack, level 14 criticals. Tapion only has 1 dupe, which is pretty much a balanced level distribution, and this guy is 90%. So that's pretty much the team I've been running for the most part, and at this point it definitely does get a little bit difficult because Broly ends up putting out a lot of damage, and it really comes down to the rotation of how you start out. Like right here is a great start because you've got very good defenders and also units that can attack very well. Like having the Super Saiyan God Goku come up in the very first rotation is going to help out so much because you're minimizing the amount of damage taken, and he'll be back in the third rotation too, you know what I mean? So he does increase his attack by 7% for every rainbow key collected, so that definitely does add up as well. It's a good idea to collect them if you can. If not, don't force it. You want other units to get the super attack as well. And Vegeta is also very good for this. I mean, 2.4 million with the critical. I mean, this category, movie heroes category, obviously gets a damage bonus, but he's definitely a good unit. For this specific Z battle event, probably would have been better if I had more of additional attack levels, but since I planned on using the Vegeta unit outside of just the Extreme Z battle event, I typically go with level 9 and level 17 distribution. It just overall seems to work out better for me with that setup. Gogeta definitely does take a decent amount of hits, especially if he doesn't dodge. The super attack, at this point, you're talking about 250,000 in damage taken if it's against Gogeta. The Angel Goku will take a little bit less, but it's still up there, like at least 100,000. So that's why I say the Super Saiyan God Goku is a very good unit, and you pretty much have to pray that Broly's going to super on him to minimize damage taken. So yeah, it really just comes down to luck with RNG and how the rotation setups are at this point. I think, personally, when I was starting this, I wanted to set a goal of clearing stage 200. That was kind of like my personal goal for this one. I doubt I'll go further than this. I'm at a point where I just kind of need to get back onto, the normal grinding and, farming for other stuff that's available in the game right now. I don't really need to keep going with this as much. Now, this is where it sucks because I don't necessarily want to put Super Saiyan God Goku at the very last slot, but I think I'll be able to finish this within the next 2 rotations. Now, if Broly had more HP, it would have been a little bit difficult to make that decision because you definitely want to have Super Saiyan God Goku come back within the rotation after next, you know what I mean? So those are things you have to think about and plan ahead. Otherwise, you're easily going to get screwed over. And let's see how much damage Vegeta takes here. It's definitely a lot less, like 70,000 maybe? Yeah, 70 to 80,000 is probably what you're looking at. I don't have to worry about Goku here because he's pretty much going to tank all the attacks. It doesn't matter how much HP levels he's at. As long as you have at least 1,000, you'll be okay. That's how good this unit is with this event. So, luckily, Broly is not attacking first, otherwise you would have had to rely on Gogeta's ability to dodge the attack, but fortunately, there's no attacks coming before the first attacking slot, so pretty much know we're going to clear this at this point. Alright, so 2.7 million in damage to kill that off at stage 190. So again, it definitely takes a little bit more, I don't know, man management, I guess the right word for it, and being lucky with the, rotation and whatnot. But yeah, it definitely does tend to get a little bit difficult at this point. At stage 200, which we're finally here, it gets quite difficult, I'll put it to you that way. And I ended up using most of my friends that had the 100% Gogeta unit, so luckily this guy has levels toward evasion. I think that'll probably help a little bit, maybe possibly dodge some attacks to mitigate some damage. But yeah, here we are at stage 200, and a pretty good start, actually a damn good start. Most of the attacks are coming from the very first position, where obviously you want to put the Super Saiyan God Goku at, and then we have the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta unit as well. So like, it's a great start. You're pretty much minimizing damage taken for the most part. Now, I can't really tell the second rotation. I think Tapion and Angel Goku's there, so at least you have 2 type advantage units coming up next too. So you'll be able to minimize damage for the most part. Even with a super attack incoming, it should be okay, and it should be manageable. So yeah, it's a damn good start for this one. And Vegeta definitely got it off to a great start with the critical, so definitely very, very good there. So most of the attacks are coming after the third slot, so I am going to put Tapion there. He's probably the best defender out of the rotation we got right now. I'm a little bit worried about the middle slot with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because if we get a super here, you're talking about, you know, 220,000 in damage taken, so, you know, that's quickly going to deplete your HP, but we'll have to see what happens, I guess. And additionals did kick in for another super attack, which is going to help out a lot. That's going to cut down, you know, oh yeah, with the critical too. And luckily no super attack did come by. So pretty good shape so far for the last event. Pretty much HP is, yeah, at least half, or a little bit less than half, but all the attacks are coming with God Goku and Blue Vegeta, so this is going to be one of those rotations where we're not going to be worried one bit either. So definitely getting pretty lucky with the overall rotations and incoming attacks from Broly. Usually it doesn't go smooth like this. Honestly, they're evenly distributed, so like one of the Gogeta units tend to get attacked at least twice, and then the dodge really doesn't kick in much, and then you're looking at 120,000 in damage just from two normal attacks. So the HP levels quickly deplete. So yeah, additionals did kick in, but you know, we still have a lot of HP left. Even if Broly supers at the beginning, we have enough HP to survive that with the Angel Goku. I think he'll probably end up taking like 120,000 in damage max. So I don't really think this is much to worry about at this point. It should be easily able to clear it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're pretty much done here. And finish that off with a critical 3.48 million. Killed it off in a good note. And yeah, this is stage 200 cleared. And again, this really does come down to luck at this point. You know, like your typical Extreme Z battle stages at this point. You've seen previous videos of mine. It really just comes down to getting lucky with the rotations and pretty much, you know, lucking out with the supers coming from the enemy and whatnot. But again, this is clearing up to stage 200 of the Extreme Z Battle Broly event. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I doubt I'm going to go further. I may at some point, I don't know. If I get bored enough, I will. But, you know, as always, definitely appreciate you watching, and definitely stay tuned for the next video. All right, peace out.